Are those cameras rolling? The music starts first.
Okay.
Then the cameras roll.
Welcome to Good Day NWI with Becky and Pete. Happy Easter.
Hey everybody, welcome. Good Day NWI with Becky.
Welcome back, and Pete Thanos. Happy Easter, everyone.
It's 4/20, April the 20th, 2025 in the region.
Yeah.
Right in the heart of Calumet area where I-80 and maybe
94.
65, 94,
Whatever it is, right?
41, they're all intersecting. So, crossroads of America.
And this year, I know it's Easter today, but Orthodox Easter and Catholic Easter is the same.
Isn't that
It's
handy?
usually a month difference. It's after Passover, but this year it fell on the same day, and now the Greeks are mad. You know why? They don't get discount on candy and all that stuff at Walgreens. You got to pay the full price.
I saw there was a lot of visiting going on, a lot of cars outside, and
Yeah, the whole block is filled with that. Yeah,
right.
nowhere to park.
I've mentioned this a few times now. So the behind the scenes is my phone. So if you're seeing the ceiling and the floor, but we have many people here tonight helping and on the show, and we have. Let's talk about where you can see us. Where are yours going?
Facebook Live.
On Good Day NWI.
Exactly.
And there's YouTube Live going.
It is.
Where else, Lauren?
Twitter.
That's
and then
Leah.
I come in with Instagram.
And then we record just to have a backup, and then we put that.
We upload that to
universe.
YouTube, right?
A really nice version. So those are the pro versions. I want to thank friends, family, and all the people watching. Welcome in. We've got Leah and Lauren on technology. And who are your friends over there?
Miranda and Tom.
Yes, our studio audience. And then we have about 5 people in the green room, and they're going to come in as the
Full
show.
house today.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also want to mention you can help support by watching, sharing, giving stars. And then you've been saying this to me. We want to focus in on some stories, maybe not during the show, but maybe an in-depth podcast. And what's yours that you've been bringing up this week with the cars?
Well, we're going to have a discussion on, it's called Automotive News. That's a magazine that Cranes puts out. And I've been in contact with them, and we're going to start doing a segment every Sunday.
Okay.
A 30-minute segment.
So after this, what we'd like to do is, if you love the content, we're going to do something even more in depth, and you can see more behind the scenes, win more prizes, which we have a ton tonight, and then do even more on that platform. So you would get a Zoom link, and you can see this. I share this on Facebook, and then we would you could Zone, and we would send you the Zoom link, and you can get in. You'd be like almost like the YouTube where you join, not just subscribe, but join.
Yeah, and it's free. Just click on it and
well, not the pod, not eventually, but this is all. But we do like if we have donations for the good content, because this is a labor of love between Pete and myself. This is all the technology in studio. It's the Panos Theater.
Yep.
And then I do a lot of the production, getting all the folks in here and sponsors. And we are looking for that one big, great sponsor. We have a few little ones, like with the folks that come on or the cities, but we're looking for that big one, because the big news is we're going to have a billboard on 8090 coming up pretty soon here.
And a lot of people watch us, especially when we have a different businesses on here. I'll give you a good example today. We had Ace Catering on 2 weeks ago, right?
Oh, yes.
So we went to an Ace event today that he fed 1,000 people. Had 2 different banquet things going on. Everybody and their brother knew who I was when I got there. It was the craziest thing. It was kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, it's like,
and they're wondering where you were. I'm like, I don't know where she's at.
Well, I have a hip problem, so any day now.
You
for
get
that.
one of those old lady chairs, you put your knee up and one has got the wheels and you just
I'm
move
just gonna
around.
get a new hip. How about that?
So,
That's what I think is.
but it was, and a lot of people say, hey, we watched that show. We watched it. We know who you are.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool.
So we have, between the two of us, so it's like, how did you do this? We've been doing this for our lives, but we just decided with technology we could go on. I have a small business, Vision Quest, and the nonprofit with my daughters, Angels Honor Guard to Fight Fentanyl. And you have.
I'm in the car business.
And for, who do you?
Cash for Charity.
Well, yeah, okay, and then car business, and then Cash for Charity.
Yeah.
And they help throughout the region. We have them on. They're selling gummies for the holidays.
They are.
Through Albanese. So that's pretty nice. He can come by anytime. I'm like, I need a bag of those.
And Fred's a new grandpa, so he's a little busy now babysitting.
Okay, so we're gonna go through the run of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tell people they can bring their kids here, but you just can't talk. That's hard to do. Run of the show. I just want to mention them. They are taking off paper football league. We used to have that when they come. We have been playing a little game.
We made those in high school. Remember those little
Yeah.
plastic things you used to sit in the cafeteria and hit people with
Yeah.
it? That's what it is.
So they're starting to grow now.
Yeah.
And then we do food, fashion, weather, traffic in a minute. We're going to get to our special guests, so just hang in there because we've got some great people tonight. And then we talk about
Pets, of course. You have to have a pet, right?
sports,
Yeah.
trending stories. We have a little break. And then we finish up with the events. And then we used to have Val here with words. So we have some inspirational thoughts from the girls tonight.
Good.
But let's tell everybody who our special guests are tonight.
I met them. I don't know their names. You want to tell me who they are?
So there were a lot, and there's been changes. So we had Dr.
Yeah.
App coming on, but she has something with her family. Erica Avila is going to be on. She's a mixologist, and she does some blingy stuff. So I thought that was cool. She's also one of the people that's going to be at the hub that we're having in Whiting. Then Robin Bender with the ROXX Fest. That's going to be huge.
That's
in Portage.
that summer event with all the bands, right? That's going on for 2
and
days.
she's going to rattle those
Yeah.
off. Lauren, can you grab me one of those, or Leah? It's from over there on the table. And then
So she's in charge of that? She's a promoter behind it? Is that what she does?
she's the bar owner that put that together, and she's
Okay.
got a couple of people. She'll tell us about that. And then I know Mary Lou, and it was Listen to Your Mother. Thank you, dear. That was Listen to Your Mother, and they've got a few people. They're going to tell us all about that. It's a production that they do about stories about how important it is to have a mom in your life. I also want to thank. I think we went through that. All the people, you host here, Miranda, Tom, and then our friends and family, like our fan, who's our super fan who loves you.
Your mom.
Yes, and your mom, your mom too. Give her well wishes, and all the kids. And it takes a village, and especially those closest to us, to do these type of things. So, thanks again. And about at this point, we start to look onto that camera over there. Leah, can you see anybody's names popping up? I mean, I mentioned a lot earlier. I know Brian Jennings, Jeff Kajewski. I wouldn't
Jeff's
touch
watching,
it.
Jeff's
I don't touch it. It just pops up. They're all standing on there.
Joe Sahura,
Yeah, there you go.
Kristen Kemper, Lori Oskierko,
Thank you so
John
much.
Matea.
John Matea, yep, thank you so much. So one of those folks we're gonna give, you can come on down, one of our little prizes, but somebody watching tonight is going to win 2 tickets to the ROXX Fest. So you've got to comment, win, and then
nice.
also on one of our social medias. I'm gonna look at that this week, and then we'll announce it at the next show.
And then how do they get them? You have to get their information and mail it
They
to them? or what?
would, I would contact them, they get a code from Robin, and they can get them on Eventbrite.
Got it.
So she'll talk about that too.
Okay.
So we like that. And one of the things I want to add, because we haven't had live animals in a while, but we do love them. It's just hard to kind of corral them, although you've got your 2 beauties upstairs. We all have them, we all love them. But there's a story out there that I wanted to mention. It's the story of Lulu, and it's gone kind of viral. There was an accident near Rolling Prairie on the expressway.
Is that German Shepherd?
No, it's a doodle, and it
Oh,
got loose,
okay.
and he can't find his dog. So it's been all over the news. So if anybody knows where Lulu is, no questions asked. He just wants her back.
So who has the dog now? Where's the dog now?
He can't find it. He was in an
Oh,
accident.
so no
and it
one
ran away.
recovered the dog?
No.
And wondering who the owner is?
Yeah. So based on that story, and I know it's in your car, and even my dogs. If you have a collar on, put a chip in them. They can track
Right.
that way. We were talking to a human tracker to find the cat. Ring cameras, flyers, letting everybody know in the neighborhood. That's all good. And our favorite things besides having them, adopting them, helping them there, we also say what Bob Barker would say, to spay and neuter, because there's so many everywhere.
You
Yeah,
said this.
hold them
You
up.
said this guy got in a car accident and the dog
Mhm.
ran out of the car.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. And
Wow, I didn't know that.
yeah, they're trying to find the dog. But I could just spend my whole day on. I've got to get out of those groups because they have these lost dogs, and so these are ways to keep your dogs not from being lost.
So
is
do you
what
ever
we
wonder
mentioned.
why would a dog want to run away from where they live?
Well, he was in his car. It was an accident.
Just in general, let's say.
They're
Your front door,
old.
the
They
dog
see
runs.
they see a raccoon. They're scared. They get mixed up. Mine are pretty good, but they see a bird, and then Sarge is gone, and then Oliver just like he's new, so he's just twirling around in a circle like boys in the house. So yeah, it is. You would think that they have that instinct, but I think
Yeah, naturally.
the environment I think confuses them. you know, like even around their own homes, but especially if they're in an accident. And the other thing I hear a lot is somebody's stealing it, or the dog has dug underneath the fence, or the cat, I don't know, I haven't seen too many cats problematic. But there is a cat situation going on in a city around us, but I'm not gonna bring that up. I'm trying to stay light and fluffy today.
A cat situation.
Yeah, there's something going on in Portage with the cats.
Well, I don't like cats anyway.
They just make me sneeze.
Can't breathe around them, right? From all the allergies, it's
Yeah,
horrible.
it's a hard thing.
I can't do it.
So at 7:15, Gina will be on, 7:30, Robin will be on, and then at 7:45, they listen to your mom with Mary Lou, Bennett, and Carrie. Those guys will be on.
And she's gonna
Ladies.
talk about what? Listen to your mouth.
It's they'll tell you all about it. I'm not even I'm learning about it too. But it's a production at the Hobart Art Theater, I believe it is. It's
So is it a
stories.
musical or a play?
No, it's I think they just speak. So we're gonna learn. We're gonna all learn about that today. We're gonna talk a little bit about the sports before we bring out our first guests, as we're heading into that time. And then training starts after that. So sports. Anybody have any? I mean, I was looking locally. There's some things going on, and this is kind of the time that I like to mention all the cities. So if we don't mention your cities, please tap that in. And if you want to be on or have a topic that you would like us to do, right?
Yeah.
Because you like your fitness, right?
Yep.
I know that's on here too. Oh, I missed that, but I will come back to that. Two sports.
And sports are winding down now. School's almost out, so I'm thinking by the end of May, right? Everything
Sports
winds down.
sports never
Well,
wind down.
for high school.
Oh, for the high school, yeah,
Yeah.
they've got a month, right?
Yeah, and then you have summer, so all the leagues.
So you do walking, people watch
Yeah.
that. I've talked with the Times, we're gonna do some of theirs, and then they're gonna utilize it onto their sharing, because we have some of their same reporters here. And one of the things that mailer comes in, I just read that. You see it?
Sugary drinks,
No, this one.
oranges as really?
Did you know that?
And no, as
Oranges,
depression fighters,
isn't that cool?
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
So,
Why is that?
I didn't read the story, but I don't know. They're just fun. I get those little. What are those little ones that I get? Cuties, and they're easy to peel. They're like the little
Oh, yeah,
oranges,
yeah,
tangerines. Yeah, and I always bring them. So when we had functions for the kids and you had to bring something, that's what I would bring to like offset all the other. I mean, it still has some sugar, but it's at least a little bit natural, right?
Because you have to do sugar. They have sugar.
But at least it's
Right.
natural sugar. I guess it's better than a cookie.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, we just got to like keep your food and your exercise and your rest and your peace.
Rest.
What's
What's rest?
But it doesn't mean that you don't have things in your life that are stressful. You just have to work through those, right? That's because that's how it is.
Yep.
I saw this in this paper too, so I wanted to bring up the cities that all these kids are at, and then I'll read off their names.
Athlete of the week.
But let's start with where these guys are from. So we mentioned all the cities right now. We're from
Whiting.
Hammond, East Chicago, and then we're
Right.
coming down into
To Munster, Highland, Dyer, Cherville. Yeah, Griffith. I always forget
Cedar
Griffith.
Lake,
Exactly.
Laurel, Crown Point,
Right? Maryville.
Gary,
Yep.
going back up. Anybody?
Burns Harbor,
Anybody
up
out
that
there?
direction, right?
Elbow.
What are we forgetting?
We're going into Porter next, so we're talking about Lake County right now, so
Got
that's
it.
a lot of those. Lake
Winfield.
Porter and LaPorte. So what were you saying, Lauren?
Winfield,
Yeah, Winfield,
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
So into Porter County,
Valpo,
Valpo,
Chesterton.
Chesterton,
right?
Portage.
Portage, Burns Harbor,
Hobart, is Hobart?
Westville. Oh, Hobart's in,
Yeah,
it's
like-
on the border. It's like right on the cusp right there. And then we go over to LaPorte County. So we've got LaPorte, Michigan City, New Prairie. And then south of us, I kind of miss those because we don't go that far, but there's Knox, Couts, Wanata,
Yeah, that's way out there.
there's another couple down there. Hebron, I put those on the list. So they're on the list here. Did we miss any? Oh, and Elkhart. I say Elkhart because the oilmen are starting up soon, and there's a team from Elkhart, Whiting, Highland, and Griffith. So I threw them on there because we've talked about them.
What county is Elkhart? I've been there before,
I
but
think that's like that's over South Bend. I think that's St. Joe's. You're really testing me, Pete. You're really testing my
That's okay.
brain.
I told you there'll be a test.
That's even beyond the 7 counties that we mentioned. But yeah, let's go ahead and week 4. But I thought this guy was interesting. But go ahead and read. Oh, she's from Munster.
Nina Gardner
Yep, track and field.
from Munster, okay, Linda Therese
Um,
from Boone Grove. Where's
softball.
Boone Grove? Where's that?
South of
That's
Valpo.
South of Valpo. Who's this guy?
DeMarco from Maryville, Esther?
Easter.
Easter.
That's his
No, it's probably Esther.
Okay, Esther, but
Right,
spelled
I
like
know.
Easter.
Yeah.
Track and field, Maryville.
Yeah.
And I thought this was pretty cool because I went and watched the boys
Jack
volleyball.
Rodriguez from Chesterton.
Volleyball. So boys, the sport is
High
sanctioned
school,
now.
high school has volleyball.
Yeah,
Really?
boys in the
Since
spring.
when?
It's
Couple
been
years
a
ago,
couple years
like
as
8
an
years.
exploratory, but now
Only
it's
8 years? I
sanctioned.
didn't know that. I don't pay attention. That's
Middle
why.
school
Yeah.
boys have it now too. I'm a coach.
And the people who were here, remember Naveed?
Yes.
He's coaching the boys and they're doing very well. You could tell like people who are involved, those are the people that do well, you know, come to shows, get out there and have food, all that good stuff. So now we're pretty ready for our guest. If you want to bring her over. Lauren's going to go get the guest, but I know we did, Griffith has a new pool and field house, which we're trying to have in Whiting. Leah, what did you say about the hockey?
Oh, Western Michigan won the D1 NCAA hockey championship.
And then the Bears, because of Earl, you keep saying no, but the same thing with the convention center, that's on hold too.
Well, here, because
But the
McDermott's
Bears-
making a big deal out of it because he wants it in Hammond, not in
Okay,
Gary.
so I'm gonna tell you, Pete's like, Hard Rock is getting it. I'm like, never say if somebody's doing it until the building is up.
Yeah.
And even at that, they might not do it. But Earl, as I mentioned, Earl Harris is getting that commission together, which I've told Frank, our congressman, Ravan, that I'd like to be on that because we are trying to lure a professional team here, whether it's the Bears, whether it's a C basketball team at the Genesis, or whether it's professional girls, women's softball, I'm all for it.
They would have to revamp the Genesis and do anything.
Oh,
It's been
yeah.
shut down for what, 5 years?
I mean, there's,
It's horrible.
and I mean, people have points when you're starting to do all these things. It's like, you know, how have we done it in the past? Is it going to be good in the future? So yeah, we do have to kind of oversee all of that. So now we're going to have Miss Erica come on, hop on. We're going to have you put this on. Once again, you're watching Good Day in WI with Becky and Pete, and this is our special guest, Erica. And, okay, that's all right, that's fine. So we had you come on because Dr. App was going to be a guest on here, but she doesn't need a mic. Okay, I mean, this is my mic, okay. So we had you hop on because, you know, it's always things are changing. Tell us who you are, what you've done, what you're going to do, and how we kind of met and what you're going to do in the future.
Sure. So what's up, everyone? My name's Erica Avila. I reached out to Becky because I saw she had a listing for an event space that was available, and I was currently looking for one. I make custom clothing, particularly jackets. I focus on denim, blazers, and varsity jackets when it comes to fall.
And what do you do this at? Where's your business?
I have a home-based business.
Okay.
So now I was looking to get a retail space, and I've actually been looking in the Whiting area for like the past 2 years, but nothing really came up that was within my budget or location-wise, right? So for business, you're always hearing, or great people, right? I met Becky and we were on the phone for like forever, and we were just both babbling and babbling.
When you said, so we communicate, when you said bling, you had me. Because
Yeah.
you bling up these
I do.
pieces and we'll
Yeah.
have them in the front. And then what was really compelling that you said to me with the event, you are a mixologist.
Yes. So I've been bartending for over 20 years, and recently in the last half a year, I've gotten into mixology because I have a mobile bartending business. So I'm all over the place, but I learned mixology because I needed to learn more craft drinks. That's what's trending now, right? And so I make everything is do it yourself, and everything that I learn, I love to teach. So I do it yourself for fashion and clothing as well.
And so you're having an event.
I'm having an event April 27th. I'm doing a do-it-yourself craft signature drinks. I'll be teaching 2 drinks. It's gonna have brunch, and since we're close to Mother's Day and right after Easter, it's the Easter Day brunch after party. And so, like I said, all the ladies will be also crafting and putting together your own flower bouquets. So they'll get to take their flowers home, and then they'll also make their own drinks. I'll teach them how to make those.
How do they reach you?
I'm on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram.
Say your name again.
Sure. So on Facebook, my name is Erica. It's spelled with 2 C's, Ericca. M for Marie, and the last name is Avila, Avila. And then on Instagram, I'm Erica, again, 2 C's, Marie, period, Avila, Avila.
And are you selling tickets for this online, or is it free, or do they pay when they get there?
So
how does that
I
work?
have the where you can sign up through PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, and then they can just register. So I put my phone number on the flyer. I have a digital flyer, and so I share that on
We're
my
gonna-
social media
Those are
platforms.
awesome.
We can put that, do you have a link?
Not a link.
What's
It
the
would-
digital flyer then?
I just created it, so
Oh,
I use
so
it's not in
Kind
Canva.
of like a
paper?
digital business card.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, but I can
Gotcha.
share it
You
online.
can share it online.
I said in a virtual world, I'm still a real girl. I love my papers. So, but yeah, share that with me.
Sure.
And we did skip over. We're gonna go back when she gets up, and then we'll leave the mic. But the food
So
festival.
back to the clothing thing. How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing it, I want to say I launched the brand in 2021.
And how did you start? You woke up one day and decided to make a jacket? What happened? I'm just curious.
So
What's the
2021,
brand?
so it's
Right.
Erica Quintero.
Okay.
So I'm Erica Quintero as a fashion brand, right? The expert. I consider myself a fashion consultant because I don't necessarily design the clothing where I'm sketching fashion. But what I do is whether I'm supplying the new inventory, whether it's a denim jacket, a blazer, a dress, anything like that, it's occasional pieces. So I like to dress up clothing, anything that's casual to make it look good. That's how people dress nowadays. A lot of times, a lot of people are entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs, and you can dress business casual or you're working from home now,
So
right?
what I want to mention is we're gonna have a kickoff. This is at 1830 Indianapolis Boulevard, but that whole town is having the Garage Mahal. And that's May 19th and 20th, 18th and 19th.
That's all of 118th Street, right?
It's the whole
The
city,
whole
the
town.
whole
of
entire
really?
city,
Mhm.
yeah, and beyond,
Oh,
that
wow.
even in the Robertsdale.
Oh,
Right,
really?
yes.
So down the
Do
boulevard.
you know the
Got
exact
it.
dates?
Got
I think it's the 17th and the 18th.
It's later, I think it's
So,
18th and 19th.
Where do you sell your products? How do people know where to go to buy
They
your stuff?
contact me.
And how do they
Or
know?
I've done a lot of pop-up shops,
Yeah.
Oh, right.
which is exhausting. So when you get into a small business and you have a craft business,
Mhm.
you do a lot of pop-up shops, but you're driving everywhere, you're setting up.
So,
I've got to take my stuff back and forth to
so that's why
storage.
it'll be nice to have it
In
in
one
the
location.
storefronts and lighting, yeah,
Having
Right.
that brick and mortar is going to be key.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
thank you
good.
for coming in and subbing in.
Thank you.
I'm gonna take your mic from you. We forgot food, fashion, weather, traffic. We're gonna back it up because I have a really special announcement there.
That's okay.
Food, you
And
talked
when
about
do
it.
you start? When do you go there?
Probably starting in May, after the Raj Mahal is our goal date, because I
And
have the
I
surgery.
make the clothing already. So I have new inventory from dresses to jackets, a lot of denim.
I was hoping you would wear it and bling it up.
This is something that I did, right? When you get
Ooh.
tired of an
She
old
did
piece,
wear it.
all you do is you add pins.
So
So
you're gonna sell the pins too?
yeah,
Like
I
the
sell
patches?
pins and patches that you can design
Turn
your own
this way
stuff
and
with.
show everybody. Oh, thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
coming, so pretty.
All right, thank you.
So, food we
And
talked
that
about.
is a jacket.
Yes, very easily.
Yeah.
I was so hungry today, I made easy galupi, that's like my go-to, and I think I ate the whole pan.
You should have came when we went today. The food was
I
fantastic.
couldn't because I had too much going on with all the show and my hip, I have a hip problem.
Yeah, we went to Ace Catering.
Yeah,
He was on a show 2
fantastic.
weeks ago.
Cloister in the Woods?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
fantastic.
gonna be on, I think, every month and cook for us.
He asked today if
Yeah.
we could do the cooking show here. I said, yeah.
Yes,
Because we went to his kitchen in the back today. He
Oh.
said he prefers this one.
okay.
Yeah.
Fashion, and the reason I'm bringing up fashion, because I put a lot of gold on today, because one of the ladies helping us tonight, Miss Leah, it's her golden birthday this week.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes, so happy birthday, Leah. And to all of the viewers, if you do have those, I would like to announce that, if you come
So
on.
what, 27, 12?
27.
27.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Fashion, I think you look really good in the purple.
Thanks.
Yeah, very Eastery,
Thanks.
very nice, Calvin Klein.
Yep, always.
And I can do a lot of JCPenney's, and then I recycle a lot too, so.
Whatever works, right?
Yeah. Oh, my outfit, because I'm all like, bandaged up, I had to have like a dress that went over a bandage that like I could move it. It's a little tricky.
So when you going in for hip surgery?
It's either the 30th or the 14th.
Of what? What month?
30th this month, May 14th. So Pete might have to carry on without me for a little while. I'll get you all set up.
It'll be out of control. There'll be some crazy stuff going on.
The cars,
Guaranteed.
weather.
Yeah.
What's the weather looking like?
Here, you could have 3 seasons in a week here in Indiana. You could have winter. Here, the other day it snowed. It was 80 in the morning, then it rained in the afternoon. We had snow at nighttime.
Is that crazy?
Great. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Only in Northwest Indiana, Chicago can you have that.
So what is this?
It's
Is
great.
April starting?
Yeah, and it's
Are we
50
getting
degrees
some
and rain.
warmness? Weren't we supposed to have an 80-degree day?
With it coming up, it's supposed to rain all day again tomorrow.
Okay, I did put,
Great.
good time to put down your fertilizer.
Yeah, we did that already.
Okay,
Have a company does
okay, yeah, well, I was out there. I'm like, I'm not
I
mowing.
I
I'm gonna
have no time
fertilize.
for that at all. None. And I'm
Yeah.
sure I'll do it wrong and burn the grass anyway, so I don't even bother.
How's the traffic out there?
Great. All the construction has started. It takes forever to get anywhere. Forever.
So I use the 555in.org because it also tells me red light cameras. We don't have them here, but it's bad there. And then the tolls, that's another problem that's gonna maybe
That just,
happen.
did that start already?
The tolls?
Right?
It
Tom,
got
didn't you say
passed.
Klein Avenue now there's a toll? You didn't have it,
That's
it
already
didn't take the
been.
iPass, right?
That's already been, and it's sneaky. And because I always exit on, they changed the name of the road. It used to be Columbus Drive, now it's Airport, but I had to go to the Dynasty for your, I think it was Mayor Tom's, State of the City.
Right, right.
I went on that little piece right there, and the next day I got an $8, I mentioned I got an $8 toll bill. And yet there's not even a sign up there. And so in the house right now, down in Indianapolis, they are passing it. And I'm like, if you want to pass tolls, you do it for the people coming through, but not the people who live here, and they can do that.
Well, yeah, they scan your license plate. They don't know
I'm
where
just
you're
like, I
living.
can't take it, because now Illinois keeps sending me this, and I'm like, I paid these, and now they've got late fees, interest, and something else on there, and I'm just like, it's almost harassing.
Well, I don't think it's through the state. I think the state sublet the highways and the tolls, and they
Are
got
you
the money
talking
up
about
front.
Illinois?
In Indiana too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, the state is passing the tolls coming in, and then they sell it. So that's why we were
Yeah.
saying, why are we gonna do this? Because we're selling,
Yeah, because they're making billions.
and then like there's other problems, but Redstone's out there with the billboards. Okay, he's my Chesterton Trojan. I ran against him, but we're Chesterton Trojan fans, so that kind of preempts all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, any other, okay, yeah, we talked about that. Trending stories. Okay, you wanna mention any of these favorites?
Meetings with the church. What church?
Okay, so.
School board, airport.
Yes. So one of the things we try to promote is all these meetings that happen in your community. So there are church meetings.
Here, Becky goes to 30 meetings a week, right? Morning day. I don't even know how you're doing.
I
I
go to
could
like
sit-
one a day,
I'm good for 1 a month, maybe. I don't even like
and
that.
I Zoom.
It's crazy.
Well, and because I'm kind of like not in your role anymore. I'm not like going into a workplace anymore. I'm like working on my house, so I can do that. But that's where I do a lot of business. Church meetings, council meetings, school board meetings.
You ever catch you falling asleep in one of those meetings for being so boring?
I don't, because
I'm sure someone does,
Oh yeah, I've seen.
right?
I took their pictures too. I don't share them, but I'm like, oh snap. School board meetings, the airport meeting, if anybody's wanting commercial air out of Gary, those happen the second Wednesday of the month.
They've been trying to do that for years out of there.
We gotta get together. We gotta say, hey, we want commercial air.
I think people are afraid to drive to Gary, if you ask me.
It's in Griffith, and it's a remote section, so there's nobody there. Anyway, that's just my bit on that. The zoo board has a meeting.
What, Michigan
Lakeshore-
City?
Yeah, the zoo in Michigan City, we have meetings for that. I'm on that board. I'm also on the Lakeshore Public Media Community Board. That's coming up this week because I'm gonna be gone, so all those
What
meetings
are
are
they gonna
happening.
cover? What are they gonna go over? I know we
Oh,
went
at
to
the
their studio.
community meeting?
Yeah.
All the ways to help the window to the world succeed, because there's, pressure coming from the US government of cuts. So that's one of the big things, is how do they sustain themselves? So I started giving with that box. You can just give at any time. I mean, I would recommend, see what's out there as far as nonprofits and try to give a little.
Or give as much as possible.
Yeah,
actually.
because,
It gets directed in the
not-
right place and 100%
not
of
easy
the
to-
dollar gets given. But if you go to other, like the Red Cross, they keep 70% for payroll and for,
well,
bonuses and all kinds of
sometimes
stuff.
like, people have to
crazy.
administer.
yeah, but you
You
should
know?
volunteer to administer and let someone have all the money.
Well, not everybody has big jobs, so
Yeah.
that's their job. So, I mean, I don't mind all that going on, but I do believe, like what they said, we have to watch. They have to be credible. They have to be
Yeah.
honest. They have to provide, that purpose, help that purpose of that organization. So I was at Whiting. They're having the golf outings. A lot of golf outings are coming up. So there's a golf outing. I think it's June 17th. And
Is that a Lost
Lost
Marsh?
Marsh?
Yeah.
So that is a lovely place.
Beautiful.
But all the schools and there's some restaurants having it, some nonprofits. They have the golf outings are pretty lucrative
Now, are
fundraising.
they building new houses around there?
I think so. Where Clark was.
Close to the golf course, I heard too, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
There are already some.
No more Clark football field, right? It's all gone, and new fire station over there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
nice
saw
too. Your favorite? That's coming up.
Pierogi Fest. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I love it.
So we're going to be working there. That's a great weekend. We're talking about doing some other activities. And then I don't know why I did this, but I did.
Because Joanne Fabrics. I think go out of business and everything's
I
half off.
spent like 2 hours there. It's like 90% off.
Wow.
So I was like, well, we can maybe do curtains with this and a bag with that, and somebody needs a book. But I hardly go in there, so I just was like, this is very
Well,
enjoyable.
90% off. Why not?
Yeah. So I called Leslie, my sewing friend, and I'm like, hey, remember. She's like, thank you. So they're in a couple different places, but it kind of took me back to a time when I was remembering when I was a kid and, crocheting and sewing and when I could actually have time to do those type of things.
You did that as a kid, or you mean
As
your
a
grandma
kid.
did that as?
No, my mother showed us. I
Really?
can crochet a little. I can sew a little. My sister's much better. I cook a little bit, but I also remember like the summer reading club because the libraries are a little scared too, and I thought that was very instrumental in my life.
Yeah, we had a library growing up. We used to have, I was forced to go there.
I love the
Wasn't
summer
my-
reading club though.
My idea, but I had to go.
I just thought when I go in, it had a certain smell. I always felt smarter. I always felt like maybe through osmosis, I would be. Speaking of which, I talked about it before I went. I saw Jordan Peterson at the Rosemont Theater this week, and that was a very nice experience. That theater's nice. There were some people there volunteering, helping to raise money for their kids from Northwest Indiana Kids Gymnastics. That's who were bartending. And he's a very smart man, and you really have to concentrate on.
What did he talk about?
Oh boy, I think the title of it was how to the night to change your life. And two of the words I remember I loved were germane, because Val's not here, but germane and proclivity. He said those words a lot, and I just thought I think he's a conservative liberal. Like that he can coexist, and he's a professor in Canada, and they kicked him out of the university, and he's starting his own
What
classes.
did they do?
I think he was butting heads with the president.
Can't do that.
So he's starting his own university. He's just like a good man. It's like I liken him to Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Mort Fertel, Jimmy Evans, all these people that are really mature and very smart and can speak well. I think that's all really, really good, important things.
Yep.
So those are any other trending stories? Anything else that you heard lately?
Yeah, tariffs hit.
Okay, that's the hot topics after
Oh, that
7:30.
covers all kinds of stuff.
Okay, hold that thought. So now we can have Robin come out with the ROXX Fest. So once again, I'm Becky.
And on Pete Panos. Now, she's from Portage, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Porter County, correct?
her business is in Portage, but she's from Crown Point because she was sharing it to her Crown Point friends, but she lives in Lowell. Come on up, Robin. Miss ROXX Fest. Tell us all about
We
it.
want to hear, I've been hearing about this for 10 days now.
Pete's like, what's going on? What's happening?
Yeah, every day of the week I've been
They're all working, but we have
getting
a
data.
couple of different ones, so we're just gonna click this one on too. Yes. Okay, this way.
Oh, good.
So tell us who you are.
I'm Robin Bender. I'm with On the Rocks, Decibels, and now new recently ROXX Fest.
Yep. And you've been doing this a long time. She is a hardworking lady. She met me at another event. She came out on Easter. You've been doing that bar for how many years?
10 and a half.
Yeah, and they're right off of 8090, the toll road.
Mhm.
And it's kind of back in by the mall,
We are at the very
Where,
end.
Chesterton, Portage? Where
Portage.
Portage, okay.
by the city hall.
Mhm.
Yep, and I just went to a
A
big
bar
event.
by the city hall. Did the cops sit out there
There's a bunch
waiting?
of us over there. 4 or 5 bars.
He
over
gets
there.
along. I think he likes it. It kind of helps bring people to the area because you're expecting thousands of people for this. Okay, do you have your flyer?
I don't need to, you do.
Okay, yeah, I was like, I
So
don't
how
know
many
all
bands
the
you have set up?
bands.
We
Great
have
ideas for
8.
2 days, right?
Tell us all the
Okay.
bands.
Stone Temple Pilots, Fuel. I've got such an echo.
Yeah, can we turn that down? You know what, your box needs to go down. That's it. That's the box, if your box goes, there you go. She's good, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Stone Temple Pilots, Fuel, Lit, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. Those are all on Friday, June 20th.
And where are they from? How did you find them and how did you book them?
Hang on, let her do these and then
Okay,
she'll
good.
tell you all of them.
That'd be interesting to find out.
Saturday, the 21st is Theory of a Dead Man, Story of the Year, Hooba Stank, and Plain White Tees.
Okay, now, she told me this, but how did you get all these
That's a lot.
famous people?
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
And I sometimes think we're dumb for doing
You're ambitious.
You won't feel that way when it's done.
Well,
You can
no.
finally get it.
If you go to any other festivals, they usually have one big headliner and then they have some up and comers.
This is like Lollapalooza.
Yeah, this is our Lollapalooza.
I said that I wanted
Oh,
to
yeah,
do something big.
Oh, you got it.
Originally, we weren't gonna do it in Portage. We were gonna do it either at one of the county parks or we were going to do it at the Porter County
Yeah,
Fairgrounds.
yeah. Mhm.
And the more we talked about it, the more I thought about it, I thought, you know,
You have
I've got
that
multiple
space.
businesses in Portage. I have this great big unused space right in front of my bar. Why not utilize it and bring something back to Portage?
Yes, yep, and that's gonna be a big weekend. We also talked about, like what you said,
So you need crowd control probably, right? How many people is this gonna accommodate? What do you think?
Technically, we could have 14,000 per day.
Wow.
so if you remember,
Wow.
in last summer, there was a big festival, and I was just like, what is this? This is gonna be like 3 times the size. That's the goals. It's how do people get these tickets?
They can find us on Facebook. ROXX has its own Facebook page, and we also have our own webpage, which is roxfest.com.
Now are all the bars on the street selling tickets also for this event?
It has to go through
They
mostly
should.
Eventbrite. 'Cause she
Yeah,
has
we're
to
going all through
control it.
Eventbrite. Yeah, we have to have control. We have to have, we have to be able to tell our artists what we have at any given time. If they say, what's our count, we have to be able to tell them.
It's a big undertaking, but it's a
Wow.
lot fun. You have a right-hand man that you've said?
Joe is my right arm in this,
Yeah.
not just my right hand. I'd be completely lost without
So
him.
shout
He's
out
the
to
one-
Joe.
He's the one who booked all these bands. He's incredible.
So there's a time limit on, there's something that you just announced to meet the band. Like who does that? It's like nobody. So,
We have tickets to give away for Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. And on our Facebook page, we have a post. You go on there, like, share, comment. And on the 30th, we are going to be drawing names.
so the 30th of this month, so they have up until then to either get the 1 day or the 2 day and do all that, and then you're gonna draw somebody and they get to meet those
I
guys.
think originally we had said the 20th, but we just extended it to
Oh,
the
okay.
30th.
Good.
And parking, are they parking and being shoveled in? How are you gonna do that?
Parking's gonna be everywhere.
Yeah, they've got a lot of room around there.
We're only taking up a portion of that green space in the mall. We're going to have part of it designated for parking. There's another big field that's at the end of our mall that we're gonna have for parking. We're working right now to get permissions from the middle school and the elementary school, which is just a couple blocks down the road.
Mhm. And so this is right off of 80-90, but people can come in. You're getting a lot of folks from Illinois. You're moving it into Detroit, Indianapolis, because they're drivable. These people have fans all over the world.
I've
But
got
those
tickets
markets
sold
in
all
Milwaukee.
over the country.
Okay, so
Wow, that's
we
fantastic.
had also talked about places to stay, and one of the ideas, they can camp. They can camp overnight. I thought that was a really
Oh, they
cool.
can?
Not hers,
At my place.
but there's
Somewhere around there,
oh,
right?
there's camping because we have the lake shore. We have the National Lake Shore up there in Indiana Dunes. So there's that, and you said you knew some other places that they could.
There's a
hotels.
campground that's in Portage, but I don't know if they've got where you can just drive in
Okay,
and take a spot.
Now, is
or
Portage
pay to go.
requiring you to hire a staff for crowd control to handle all this?
I'm gonna turn you up. Sorry. Okay, there you go. Ah, we're getting very close,
Yes.
Robin and I. We talk after midnight. She's a night owl too because you work like 3 to 3 a.m. because she has a bar there and then she has decibels on the rocks, which people come to as well. Like Polly Shores you had there.
Mhm.
Who else did you have there? Oh, you had the band Naughty last night.
Yeah, Saturday was last
Yeah.
night.
So they
We've
have a
got Louder
venue.
Now, next Saturday.
Every weekend now you're gonna have, and this is considered like emo, grunge, rock, alternative.
Rock, pop, punk.
So every weekend now, leading up to that, you could come and you're doing different giveaways at that as well.
I wasn't, but I guess I am now.
Well, you said you give away some of the vendors that, you have vendor giveaways that come in from your beer and your,
We usually do
Drinks.
those kind of giveaways on the rocks when
Oh.
we have bar bingo.
Okay.
And a couple other things like
Oh.
that.
all right, but maybe now we'll have that as we go into this to generate.
What determines who the headliner is
Wow.
of these 2 days? How did you determine that with the other 8 that you booked?
That
The
would really
promoter,
Tricky
right?
question, right?
Yeah, very tricky.
Yeah.
If I say the wrong thing and they happen to be watching me, yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
promoter helped, didn't they, to figure all this out?
Yes. Usually, I believe it goes by how big of a draw they still have. price point.
Right.
I've been looking up all their music now, and I was like, I don't know if I know them like personally, but I know their songs, because I've been putting it with everything that we're doing.
I
like
have
promoting.
several of the songs programmed on the jukebox.
See?
And I've got the app on my phone, so when I'm talking to people, they're like, well, I don't know those bands. I'm like, I bet you do.
There you go. Boom. Press
Is
the
there
button.
anything else that you'd like us to know before you head out tonight?
Just everybody share.
Share.
And buy those
This-
tickets.
Yes.
Right?
We
Yeah,
wanna
we wanna
make this
see you
the biggest event that Northern Indiana has seen. 8 bands that could actually all headline their own shows. It was a
ROXX Fest, baby.
big
Wow.
undertaking, and
ROXX.
Yeah,
we
it
wanted
is.
to make a big splash when we started off.
That sounds good, because we're right on Lake Michigan, so maybe we all go take a jump in the lake after.
Oh, no, you can't, but I'm good.
I'm gonna take a microphone from you. And yep, she'll turn you down. All right,
Awesome.
thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. All right. That is exciting. Now,
That's
I
gonna
told
be
my,
crazy.
I mean,
Wow.
can you imagine all those people up there?
14,000 people.
Yeah, and 8094 is right there, and you know, the Bass Pro's up there, so they have like an experience, they can, and food and drinks and
That's a big
staying.
ordeal.
Yeah, and I'm so thankful that she's doing that. It's amazing.
So they're gonna have food and drinks out there also, or just you have to go inside her building? to do that?
They have food trucks, they have other vendors, I know there was jewelry, they're all listed, if you go to her, any of her socials that she mentioned, she had them listed, all of the people that are gonna be out there with food and drink, and then all the vendors that are gonna be out there, there's some really cool vendors too. Yeah, she had some big sponsors, the Light, White Claw, Pabst Blue Ribbon, that's all out of Indiana Beverage. And then, yeah, we're working on some others, but she just posted those. So keep sharing, everybody, buy those tickets. And if you get them sooner, then you're eligible for prizes, right?
Yep.
Okay, so now
Yes, you are.
you are holding, what's your hot topic?
Tariffs.
Okay, tell us all about it.
Well, here, everyone knows what's going on with that. We're all gonna get hit with these outrageous expenses.
Are you sure? Because
Lots
he keeps
of-
on,
No,
yes, no, yes,
he
no.
put a lot of them in place, but automotive, he 100% put in place. So people are rushing in buying cars. We've been saying at the dealership till midnight almost, we have
Oh.
that much business. They're trying
Didn't you
to,
say Kia was gonna help though?
they're not. That's what they said in the beginning. And I said, I knew it was all nonsense. I knew they're not gonna pay that money. So what they're doing is all the manufacturers who do not produce in the United States, you know, there's only one that produces every vehicle here. You know what that is?
Ford.
Tesla.
Oh.
Nobody else, just Tesla. That's not a coincidence. So each car is going to cost between $6,000 and $10,000 more to buy it.
Oh, back to the horses.
Yeah, well, back to riding a bike. So a $24,000 car with a $500 payment is now $30,000, and you're paying $750 a month, and that's taxed.
Well, we'll hope for the best.
It's brutal, and it's on the product that's coming in, not the product that's here already. And all that product is being shipped out from the ports this coming week.
You know,
So we're all bracing for it.
okay.
It's not going to be fun.
Well, we'll hope for the best, because I know everything was supposed to be great on day one.
Well, it's only day 100, you know, so it takes time.
He
But-
said day one.
You know, whatever. But the
Making
other
this
thing,
change.
it's going to affect everything. But now the used car market, if you have a used car, you drive a
Oh,
used car,
yeah.
it just went up $3,000.
Well,
The
but
average car went up $3,000.
people can call you to get a used car.
Oh, yeah,
can't they?
100% they
Yeah,
can. Oh, yeah.
Tom. You mentioned this. Let's get Mayor Tom on the show.
Yeah.
Let's
here.
get Mayor Tom on the show. What's going on? Let's get a convention center. Let's
McDermott's
help it
been
help the
fighting
area.
this. He wants it to go to Hammond. He thinks it's a waste of taxpayer money to be in Gary and have them involved to do it.
Why don't we put it in Maryville at the old site and all share in it? Everybody in the whole region sharing. How about that idea? How about that one?
Why not?
Because everybody wants to control and everybody wants the money.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why not.
Well, if the casino really pays for it, which I think they are, that's what they want. They want to control and have next door to them. But McDermott doesn't want it there, and he's putting up a big fight.
I don't know,
be done in Hammond.
do they actually pay for it? The commissioners are voting on it. I think a lot of
Yeah.
money comes from bonds and
Well,
from
they
the
don't-
taxpayers.
They donate
I don't-
millions of dollars. They tell the
I don't know
tax revenue
about
comes out of the
that.
casino is huge.
Okay, well, I don't see, I was hoping for flowers up and down all the streets in Gary, but I haven't seen that yet.
They'll get run over or shot
I
at.
mean, I hear a lot of donations, but I don't always see a lot of donations. So anyway, there was another spot too that I was thinking, but yeah, I mean, they could be centrally located. Oh, I was even thinking by the South Shore Convention and Visitors Authority, right by Hammond. I don't know where,
Off of
I'm
Kennedy
not
Avenue.
sure why did he not bid? Because there were 5 people, 5 to 6 to 7 organizations that were bidding. It was Hobart and Gary down to it, but I know you were saying it's going. I'm like, you never really know, right? So you might want to get those other ladies ready to come up or about next in the 7:45 to hear about and listen to your mother.
And did you hear that building in Whiting got sold to Amical for $1.4 million? The
I
mascot
think
building?
it's more than that. I thought I read millions, and yeah, they were using it. So
Wow.
but there's another idea out there that they want to put in a whole entertainment district that was with Don.
In that building?
No, the whole area, like where my mom lives and where Halushka Trucking was, they
Yeah.
want to develop that, because there's only like 2 cities out of the whole region on Lake Michigan that have buildable on Lake Michigan. It's prime. So we're trying to do boutique hotel, condos, what else is gonna be there? High density housing with some retail underneath, like these other folks are doing, maybe Michigan City and some of these other big towns like Fishers. So if you want something to be successful, maybe like research and then model who is actually doing that sort of thing. That's a good way to do it, right? Future performance based on
Yeah.
past behaviors.
Right.
All right, well, we got 3 ladies.
Okay, I'll take a seat.
Oh, you are?
Sure. I'll stand up.
Okay. Pete's gonna stand with you, gentlemen.
There you
All
go.
right, pick your seat, pick your seat. Hi, ladies. Oh, you don't wanna stand here and talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what, Pete? I might have, if my leg was better, I would have you sit here.
Right. Okay.
No, we're good. We're good. No, we're good. Okay. So, Pete, I'm gonna have you come and sit and you're gonna interview these ladies. We have Mary Lou Greger, who I saw at, I just want to mention that really quick, and then I'll come back on for the events. Where is that little flyer at? The Eucharist Miracles of the World, the Vatican International Exhibition. That's where we saw each other again. So we have Mary Lou. You guys can see your last names. We have Bennett and Carrie. Carrie Miller Bedwell.
Yes.
Bennett Galvin, which is like I don't know if it's spelled the same, but we have the Galvin Field up in Whiting, and then Mary Lou
Collie.
Colley.
Mhm.
There you go. All right, I'm gonna let Pete come back with all these ladies, and you can tell them all about it.
You have to tell me what's going on. We'll start with you first.
Well, first of all, since you brought up the fact that it was the Eucharistic Miracles with Carlo Acutis, who's going to be canonized next Sunday, April 27th. He was 15 years old when he died. He's already going to be a saint. But if you don't already have your tickets to Rome, then I suggest you come see us ladies at Listen to Your Mother at the Hobart Art Theater.
I heard about that.
3 p.m.
And we would love to have you come see us.
Yes.
And you would love to come see us. I can guarantee you, we have something to make you laugh, cry, pee your pants, whatever.
Now, who wrote the show? Was it ad lib? How are you doing this?
What is
She's
this?
the director.
So
Let her
Listen
do
to
it.
Your Mother is a series of live readings, poetry, song written by local writers. And we come together to create this amazing show with proceeds going to Meals on Wheels Northwest Indiana.
Oh, that's awesome.
Great.
Whose idea was this? I like the
So
name.
it was actually Ann Emig from Madison, Wisconsin. This is actually a national show that different people produce throughout the year.
So is it a touring company?
No, it's not a touring company, but we
let's
could
do
be. We
that.
could do it.
I have to charge you for the idea, but that's okay.
Yeah. So each show is different. So even if you come to this one, it'll be different next year. You might see both of these ladies up there again, but they'll have a different story.
How many people in the cast?
There's 15 of us.
Oh, wow.
2 men, and the rest are women.
All verbal? Any music or anything?
Yes. So Chris Kamstra will be singing a song he wrote about his mom.
Beautiful.
And Ryan Elkanowski, who is the CEO of Meals on Wheels, is reading a letter that his mother wrote him.
Now, are some of these mothers going to be there and be part of this?
Some will, yes.
So why is it
Right.
important to listen to your mother?
It is and it isn't, because actually one of our pieces is called "Don't Listen to Your Mother" by Buffy Adams, and she talks about when she kind of figured out that she was lesbian and how some people might not want to listen to your mother.
Because of
I
that.
didn't
They
hear
might
that.
not be supportive, but
I didn't hear
she
that.
had a supportive mother. Yeah,
She did or did not?
she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And how long
She's
is the
from
show?
It'll be about two hours.
2X?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have an intermission.
It's a beautiful historic theater. It's just
With theater? is it?
Similar
Or-
to-
Hobart Art Theater.
Similar
Okay.
to
similar
one
to
in
the
Whiting.
Hoosier, yes.
And what is the capacity?
I believe around 300.
That's good.
We usually pack.
And we will make room for anyone.
Yeah.
All main
Yes.
level? All main level, or is there a mezzanine?
There's all main
On
level.
main level.
How did we get tickets?
So you can either look on Ticket Leap and look for Listen to Your Mother, or you can email me at ltymnwi@gmail.com. Actually, the first 3 of you who want tickets that send me an email, I will send you a pair of tickets.
That's very
There you
nice.
go, that's really
And
nice.
also, if they can comment, listen to your mother on maybe the comment section, share,
Sure.
like, we like to tie it into the show as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let me get this right, so everyone has their snippet, their story about their mother, or is there, I know what the theme is, or is it a regular show that leads up to something?
No, we all do different pieces. For
Okay.
instance, this is like my 4th or 5th year, and I do stories about my son Bubby and being a mother to Bubby. Mine are kind of lighthearted and fun. Other people do tales of, about trauma, being a dog mom, being,
I
going
didn't
through
think of that.
adoption.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think of
So
that.
the gamut,
You're
how
right,
long does it go,
never
like
asked
an
about it.
hour or 2?
About 2 hours,
2
yes.
hours, yeah, she said 2 hours,
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that.
yeah.
And you guys are all from the region, right?
I'm from Hobart.
Hobart.
Whiting.
Yeah, we got a lot of.
Yay for Whiting, right?
Go Hobart.
Anything else you want to let us know before you? head
No,
out?
just it's Sunday, the 27th, next Sunday, Hobart Art Theater, 3 p.m. Tickets are $25. We might have 3 VIP tickets left, which also will get you some food and drink with your
Ooh.
ticket and seating right up in front. So very exciting.
Have you had a lot of rehearsal? How long did it take?
We've had 2. So the first time they come together and they get to hear each other's stories for the first time, it's very profound. And then the second one, I take them to the theater so that if they want to feel what it's like to be up on stage and
Right,
use that
right.
microphone, that they can do that.
So has everyone memorized everything, or?
No,
they know the script?
no. We have a binder on stage that has each of
That's
our
always
pieces
Yeah, right,
And-
yeah.
up there on the
So there'll be a
podium.
little ad lib then too, probably. right?
Whatever we want to do.
Yeah. Which
So
is
we're
good.
going live, that's why we've got that going on, but another thing we do at this point, we look for an impact winner, somebody in your community that might not be working at the job, but we'd like to acknowledge them. So when you're heading off and thinking, if you want to let us know somebody that you think's doing a great thing, but nobody's really hearing about it, we usually ask our guests to do that.
Sure, absolutely. We
And
love
do you
it.
want to
Join
speak
us.
before you head off?
No, thanks again for having us
I'm
on.
glad, this is very interesting, I'm glad.
Yeah, I
to
hope
know
you'll
that.
come.
I'm gonna try it,
I have a
absolutely.
ticket with your name on it.
All right.
I love theater stuff, so you don't be surprised if
Yes.
I be there.
All right, thank you,
Awesome.
ladies.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
You can stay there, Pete, you can be in the pink chair.
It doesn't match.
No, actually, it looks really nice with it. Yeah, it does. Wow, what a show.
I like to see that.
Wow. Yeah,
A
there's,
dog mom, I never
there's a
thought of that.
lot of, there's so many things in our region and, people don't always realize all the opportunities
Of what's
and the
available.
beauty and the offerings.
Mhm.
Yes. So I'll take, you got all the mics, thank you. You can turn them off, Lauren. Everybody's good? Oh, yeah, sounds good. All right, so we're gonna finish up. We finish up with the events, right? Does anybody in the studio audience have anything that they're looking forward to? Anybody? Before we get into our list? Anybody can you look at all the monitors and see, check mine here, Leah, and see if anybody's
Any comments or anything?
comments or anything on there? Anybody new watching?
Matt Kaiser, Elliot, buy that.
The Bay from
Oh,
Whiting,
sorry.
he's the chamber, but I don't know if I would touch that because it gets a little goofy. But any comments? Just a lot of people watching.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. I get a little nervous because then it goes to like off and then we have no behind the scenes. Events. We talked about a lot today on the show. Wow.
For sure we do.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. We did mention that with the Optimus and Cash.
The guy from Optimist was at the dinner, he was there?
Oh, the guy from
The one we interviewed.
from Hessville?
Yes, he was there.
Oh, he's such a nice man. And so when I described him, when I went to
And he
his,
asked where you were, I said,
Irish.
I don't know.
I'm like the Italian guy, like, oh yeah.
Yeah, he was there,
There.
yes.
There is a Main Street meeting coming up in May, and I went to a meeting in Gary. Main Street, similar but different to a chamber. They really help restore the building and the vibe and maybe some of the culture of the cities that you want to save. So they kind of work in conjunction with the chambers. I'm going to that meeting, it's in Plymouth, which you have to remember is an hour ahead of us, so that I
They
don't
are?
miss it. Yeah,
Plymouth?
yeah, Plymouth. Once you like cross over to South Bend area and
Right,
down,
it's different.
yeah, it's an hour ahead. So I'm not sure which way it works in your favor or
I
not,
thought
but
when you
I'll
changed
be
it,
late.
when we just did this time frame.
I would
it
think
was
so
the same.
too. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. It's weird, but I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure they still are ahead. Also, did you see this?
Arbor Day?
Yeah,
Or
there's a,
PNW?
on the 25th, they says Arbor Day, and so I believe you can get a tree and plant it. There's an organization, a tree organization that you can do that. I know I mentioned New Life Christian, he was on last year. Somebody said, why are you doing it on Easter? It's our biggest show. I think because, what did you say? Why?
Because everyone's at home doing nothing during the day, right? You went to church, you're
I know
done.
you're allowed
Yeah,
to
they're
listen.
at home, right?
You got, like I said,
Yeah,
you got the
log in.
regular stuff
Yeah.
on TV, then you have your, like I have my sports on my computer, and then I have my phone doing like scrolling and all
And
this
then they
live
watch,
stuff, right?
yeah. And
Um,
more watching you think, and we find out when they watch or we're out somewhere, and someone says, hey, I know where you're
Yeah.
from. It's kind of cool, actually.
New Life Christian has a party on the 4th, but I think Jeff's gonna be back. Jeff, he asks every day. And then also Dave Jersa, I mean, he always wants to do some music, so we might have him back on with he's introducing different musicians in the region. And then, we're getting ready. I love the horses. I don't particularly like to see them racing, but, because I don't want them to get hurt. Yeah, Slovak Clement Whiting's gonna have somebody, I called over and I'm like, who's your social director? I mean, they just raised a bunch of money for cancer. They're having the derby party. I think some young kids are,
That's a first, it has to be. I don't think they've ever done that before.
I don't know, but
I've never heard
they
of
do trips to like the games, so yeah, I thought that was really cool. And then I wrote this in, not on yours, but mine. There's a water circus gonna be in Michigan City.
Where?
They put up a tent in the parking lot of the mall up there, and I think they're from Italy. And then they do like stunts. I was somewhere, I think, with Leah, and I just went by this tent. I'm like, oh God, they're doing some really cool things in there. It's
That would be
amazing.
interesting to
It's
see.
amazing what
That would
that's
be
going.
interesting.
All right, how much time do we have there, Director?
2 minutes.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Pete. I don't see well far. Impact winner. Anybody? You can tell me now or during the week. An impact winner, somebody that you know. Do you know anybody that's doing something that's amazing and doesn't really get any credit? Probably all the
A lot of
mothers out there.
teachers wrapping up the school year.
Teachers, mothers, fathers.
When is school up? Is it May?
Yeah, most likely because then like that holiday and then you can't get anybody back. So graduations are all going to start. So shout out to Luke and IU. They're graduating. Is your son graduating?
No.
He's got one more year.
One more year.
At Purdue. Okay. And remember, if you comment, share, give stars or beyond on that, and also on the show and on the posts, you'll be eligible for those 2 tickets to ROXX Fest.
And we want to give them away, make sure people go.
Yes.
That's huge. 14,000 people
Yeah.
participated a day.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's what she can accommodate. So that's what our goal is. Just
Wow.
coming up here, I am going to have surgery this month. So Pete will take over if I'm not here. There's lots of pop-ups. We go live a lot. You were doing live stuff. You had relatives in from Australia.
Yeah.
I was at a function. We did Pierogi Fest, Pierogi Drop. So a lot of live
That's right.
action out there too.
And we are going to have from Cranes Magazine, Chicago,
Oh, yeah.
someone here starting next week is the goal,
Okay.
and to discuss the
Do
car
we
business.
do video it and then put it on, or do we do it live? How do
They
we
want
want
to
to
be
do it?
live.
Okay.
They want to be
And
live.
then it would be on any of these platforms? Pete, Becky,
Yeah.
Day.
Probably this.
Okay.
They're trying to get a better reach of Northwest Indiana. Everyone in Chicago is on board, but a lot of the Northwest Indiana dealers kind of get ignored
Oh,
from the
it's
Chicago
like
market.
everything.
Yeah, so it's part of the Chicago market, but not
Reports.
recognized. So they called me 2-3 times already.
Yes. News
I'm like,
channels.
absolutely, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm still really pushing for us to get on Lakeshore Public Media because I think local content would help them.
And they live far and they're willing to come here.
Yay.
I'm like,
Yeah.
done.
So we're going to be signing up. Lauren, you ready to cue up the music after we do our signups? I usually say have a spectacular week and cover those cups, cover yourselves.
Yep. And take care of yourself and each other.
And the announcer says,
Happy Easter.
and
That's
God
right.
bless.
God bless.
You might have to hit it again, Lauren. The music's fading out. Play the music again. There we go.